Coming up, so-called free trade, reading groups, Solidarity City, and how you can join the socialist fight. But first, International Workers' Day. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MDC Dispatch. I'm your host, James, and I will be bringing you news and events from Metro DC DSA. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and be on the lookout for a new Dispatch episode every first and third Sunday each month. This past Thursday was International Workers' Day, and more commonly known as May Day. Metro DC DSA laborers and allies around the DMV celebrated the power and value of our working class with rallies and events. We'll get to those, but first I'd like to refresh viewers on the history of this important holiday. Many of you are familiar with Labor Day, which is a national holiday recognizing the U.S. labor movement in September. Labor Day was recognized as an official federal holiday by President Grover Cleveland as a symbolic gesture to commemorate and appreciate workers who, at that time in the late 19th century, were holding down a monumental railroad strike. The strike, held in 1894, caused huge traffic disruptions in the Midwest. This epic move by laborers, known as the Pullman Strike, is definitely a day to remember. In deciding how to officially enshrine the labor movement in the U.S. holiday calendar, President Cleveland was given the option to commemorate May 1st, or May Day, for the Haymarket Affair in 1886, in which protesting workers were met with severe police brutality and murders in Chicago. But this day had associations with socialism and militant labor organizing. Cleveland didn't like that too much, so he went for a safer bet in September. It's on us to record and remember labor and socialist history. Let's never allow May Day to fall by the wayside again. All right, so how did we do it up for May Day in the DMV this year? For the past several weeks, including May Day, MDC DSA showed up in solidarity with workers in various establishments of the Star Restaurant Group. Workers are ununionized in these restaurants thanks to an aggressive campaign of union busting by management. DSAers, restaurant workers, and allies joined the May Day informational picket organized by Unite Here Local 25 outside the Occidental. We've also been outside Le Diplomat and Osteria Moza. You guys smell that? Ew, I think it's Star Restaurant suppression of labor organizing. Union busting is disgusting. It wouldn't have been a May Day without a huge rally either. Socialists and other supporters of the labor movement joined the MDC DSA co-sponsored May Day Solidarity Rally on Thursday evening. Thousands of people showed up at DC's Freedom Plaza to stand with all working people, but especially the restaurant workers who make the city's economy run. Together, we demand dignity, power, and a future for the working many, not the billionaires. Don't do socialism alone. This summer, MDC DSA is assembling 12 distinct reading and discussion groups on socialism, anti-capitalism, future fiction, and more for the people of DC, Montgomery County, PG County, and Northern Virginia. The chapter's reading groups provide an opportunity to learn in group setting and help members develop their organizing and knowledge alongside comrades. Topics range from viewing and discussion groups for Andor, fiction connected to Palestine and anti-fascist organizing, theoretical analyses on chapters abolition, social housing, and internationalist campaigns, and much more. Sign up at the link in the description. 2 weeks ago, a month-long organizing event launched in the heart of DC, Solidarity City, nicknamed Muskville, a reference to Hooverville shantytowns, which became hubs of solidarity, support, and organizing for families suffering under the Great Depression. With that inspiration in mind, Solidarity City is an in-person organizing space that provides support for displaced workers, mutual aid, political education, and organizing for collective action. Daily programming is on the books, including supportive services for fired federal workers and other community members, training, political education, performances, and more. If you have an idea, the form to propose new programming is still open, and there's weeks to go. Check it out if you're by Columbus Circle, or sign up in the link in the description. Sean Fain, United Auto Workers president, recently stated it best: we're in the middle of two massive transformations. One is our economic system, the other our political system. Both are facing massive upheavals and reverberating throughout the country, likely to impact all of us for years, maybe even decades to come. Our rights are being eroded, most especially for the working class, while the billionaires continue to reap fortunes off our labor, both paid and unpaid. As we recognize May Day this week, let's remember that for decades, unions and organized resistance have been at the forefront of standing up to and fighting back the ills of capitalism. But today, in Trump's disintegrating America, we're seeing illegal firings, unjust deportation, disappearances, and other attacks on federal workers' bargaining rights, the National Labor Relations Board, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, immigrant workers, and college students, many of whom are union members. Let's also remember that the Trump administration is gutting federal health and scientific research to take those funds and feed the insatiable appetite of billionaires while taking an axe to the education to weaken public schools and higher education as that nothing is left for future generations. At the same time, free trade has devastated workers' lives since the end of the 20th century and the turn of the 21st. In 2000 alone, 4 million jobs were lost when 90,000 plants were closed in the United States, and Wall Street saw a massive rise in profits. The rich 1% got richer, and the laborers suffered the consequences, including lost jobs, low wages, and the slashing of benefits. While tariffs can and should be used as a tool in the toolbox, as Sean Fain says, they should be used strategically to bring livable wages back to workers, universal health care, and a dignified retirement. But they should not be used chaotically and recklessly for mere political gain. None of this is good for the working class, and that's why we have to take the power back. And as Sean Fain said, we need to build a political movement that can put the working class first, no matter who is across the negotiating table, Republican or Democrat. Building a political movement around and for workers, and let's not forget, that's all of us, means we need to continue to show up, speak up, and take on corporate America and transcend traditional partisan boundaries. Leave your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Join our chapter for any of the huge slate of events coming up in the next few weeks. RSVPs linked in the description. On Sunday, May 4th, Montgomery County DSA is holding the branch general body meeting as the branch prepares the upcoming tenant summit. More on that in a moment. On Thursday, May 8th, We Power DC, the Chesapeake Climate Action Network, and Sunrise Movement DC are holding a seminar on why utility bills are spiking in the district and what residents can do about it. On Saturday, May 10th, Korea Peace Now and the MDC DSA Internationalism Working Group are hosting an in-person screening and discussion of War America's Fate 2, a South Korean documentary dealing with U.S. economic and military dominance in the quickly changing multipolar world. On Saturday, May 17th, MDC DSA's Internationalism Working Group, with partners such as Jewish Voice for Peace DC Metro and Palestinian Youth Movement DMV, will hold a walking tour and protest of about 1 mile between Farragut Square and 3 or 4 sites around downtown DC. Also on Saturday, May 17th, Montgomery County DSA, in coordination with Progressive Maryland, Housing Justice Montgomery, Everyday Canvassing, and CASA, is holding a tenant summit to form plans to build tenant power and win safe, affordable housing for all. New to DSA, apply by May 26th to join Summer 2025 new member cohort. 3 Wednesday night sessions at MLK Library in DC. Participants will cover foundational organizing concepts, creating a meaningful framework for socialism, and how to become an active member in DSA. Finally, throughout the month of May, the Labor Heritage Foundation is holding its 25th annual Labor Film Fest, co-sponsored by MDC DSA, screening films honoring working people such as Lily, 9 to 5, and Strike. The MDC DSA Labor Working Group has been given a limited number of free tickets for DSA members who attend labor actions. Find these activities and many more at the calendar of events on our website or in the full weekly update, also linked in the description. The Democratic Socialists of America is growing. If you're not a member of DSA and would like to connect with other like-minded activists, community organizers, and neighbors, visit dsausa.org and join today. Metro DC DSA is the 3rd largest chapter in America with over 2,000 members. We are very active in the community and have groups focused on labor, tenant rights, LGBTQ rights, environmental activism, and much more. DSA is the largest socialist organization in America, and we would love to have you as a member. These and other stories, along with links and sources, can be found in Metro DC DSA Weekly Update newsletter, which you can find linked in the description. This production has been a collaboration of members of Metro DC DSA. Look for new videos on the first and third Sunday every month. I'm your host, James. A better world is possible.